this is Alistair for this vlog, and welcome to another My Thoughts on the latest Doctor Who episode. Yes, the recent one, The Lie of the Land, which is part 2 of last week's part 1. And yeah, this episode felt over that it was over like incredibly quickly. Like the pacing was like incredibly quick. Like one day, like, oh, I'm just a standard civilian in this whole thing, and then 10 minutes later, oh, he defeated the monks. The pacing felt incredibly quick. Basically, in universe, it felt like it was over a day or something. I know it's the Doctor, but over a day, really. And overall, this episode has just been sort of average, as the rest of the series has just been average. There is really just nothing new. Well, there's stuff new to the series, but it's just average. Everything's been average about this series. Nothing's really jumped out at me. Though this has to be one of the least favourite episodes of pretty much all of the series. Because the other ones had good points going through it, but this one just felt really quick. The other ones felt like they had something to them, instead of this one where it was like, oh, hello, welcome to Doctor, oh, it's over now. Like they hadn't finished the introduction before it felt like it finished, due to the pacing. The pacing was the worst issue in this one, because it just felt over quick. I know I've repeated myself 1,000 times already, but that's all I've really got to say about this episode. Though I will say this, that little picture of Donald Trump up in the corner, when they were in the communication room thingy, cheeky little fuckers there. Trying to subliminally hypnotise us into liking Donald Trump BBC. Naughty naughty. But yeah, Bill as a character, she's not my favourite companion. But she's doing alright. She's a lot better than Clara. I will give you that. And the whole lesbian aspect of a character, I'm glad they did what they did with it. They're just making sort of a passing sort of character footnote type thing, like I suggested in the first video, talking about the first episode in the series. That they just make it as a passing footnote. I'm really glad that they're doing that. That the BBC aren't making this whole song and dance of it. I'm really glad about that. Ugh. But the way it was a bit odd. The basement was quick. The way he defeated the monks by infecting their weird wibbly pro wave hypnotism thing. That was alright. That's a standard Doctor Who way to defeat somebody. But the whole bit at the end where it's literally just like, oh, it was sort of everybody forgot it was a dream. Like, that's just a cheeky way to get out of things. Have the people remember that the monks were there. Have them slowly rebuild society. That will be interesting, Moffat, alright? I know it's your last season, but you should always go out with a bang. Not just go like, because that would be an interesting thing to happen. I know maybe you did think of that and go, but hang on, Chris Chibnall's coming in, it wouldn't be really fair to him to maybe you're just thinking like, maybe it wouldn't be fair for Chris Chibnall to take on the role. I haven't seen Broadchurch. I don't know what his writing style like, so but if I've got a feeling he's possibly up to the task. Right, but what they should have done is just gone, not wipes the people's memories and made sure they still knew about the monks, because that would have been interesting. And they've gone, hey, let's rebuild our society. That's what I would have done, because that would have been quite interesting. And the whole it's a dream sort of cop-out thing, it's just like, it's a dream, and it renders pretty much the whole bit that stuff's about pointless, because you go, well, it didn't really happen. So, actually technically it's 3 parts, isn't it? Because we have the simulation one, the one where the pyramid showed up, and this one. Technically it's 3 parts, not 2-parter. Sorry. But yeah, because the first one, the simulation one, the fact that they said, oh, it's just a simulation, that's different, because all the data the Doctor gathered during that simulation and then sent to the real Doctor had a point. The Doctor knew the monks were existing now. He knew that they were them. So that had a point to basically move on to the next bit of the 3-parter, essentially. That's how you do. That is pretty much more or less how you do. oh, it's all a dream thing. Basically, you have the characters remember, go, hang on, that was all a dream, and then get all that information together and use that later in life or something. That's what they should have done with this. Because that Rebuilding Society would have been really interesting to watch. I know they've most likely glossed over a lot of it, but at least for like an episode or something, have like people go, walk around sort of mentally scarred and stuff from the whole thingy, because it's just a cheap cop out. It's like with the 50th anniversary, we go, oh, we've changed time Gallifrey's now lives. How are we going to stop 9, 10, and 11 from knowing that? Oh, they'll just forget. That sort of stuff annoys people because it's shit. And don't be shit. It's actually a general phrase for life there. Don't be shit. Yes, don't be shit. That's what we take over from this episode. This has been my least favourite episode of the series, and it's, again, a 5 out of 10, because it's just okay. I'd actually say more like 3, because the pacing was just... It wasn't right pacing for this episode. It felt all over too quick. Anyway, this has been Alistair for this vlog, for my thoughts on the latest Doctor Who episode. Goodbye.